sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
What can I do? I mean, like, she's playing unbelievable, just like crushing everything. Like, I'm not able to do anything. Like, I had zero control on the match, and I was just keep telling myself, I mean, okay, there is going to be days like this. Somebody gonna just play their best tennis, and I mean, you just have to keep trying, keep staying there, and keep pushing it, and maybe you'll be able to turn around this game. And lucky me, somehow, magically, I don't know how I was able to turn around this game.
Aryna Sabalenka speaking there after her semi-final victory this morning and booking a final ticket to the US Open Women's category final, where she will be facing Corey Goff. Remember, Corey Goff earlier this morning also defeated Karolina Muchova 6-4, 7-5 for Sabalenka. She came from a set down, lost 6 to win 7-6, 7-6 against Madison Keys. My name is OLADAPO, could be aka Young Striker, and you're welcome to Kick-Off Sports Show this Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday! Okay, well, we wait to see what happens at the end of the day. But remember, the final of the WTA goes down tomorrow. Corey Goff against Aryna Sabalenka. And remember, Carlo Alcaraz will take on Daniel Medvedev in the semi. That should be the semi-final, right? He'll be playing Daniel Medvedev. And remember, Carlo Alcaraz, Daniel Medvedev booked their places yesterday. And for Alcaraz, saying that he's more confident of defending his US Open title. Okay, well, let's also look at some updates coming from the world of basketball this morning. We talk football, we're getting updates and the feelers from the Super Eagles camp in Uyo. It's going to be an open session today where journalists will have opportunity to speak to players and the likes. Well, we'll also look at results of games that decided yesterday, from qualifiers in Africa to that of Europe on the show this morning. Remember, we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Solutions 939 FM is the dial. And you can as well just search Solutions 939 FM. Jump on these pages. Like, subscribe, share. This morning, let's get your comments, your reactions. Well, Lionel Messi is not stopping from his performance in the MLS with his Miami FC team. And he wants the goal scorer for Argentina in the wee hours of today. 8:05 is the time. Let's check more stories on the show this morning.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Well, Olorun wa pẹ̀lú mi saying morning to you too. But now let's go straight and expatiate more about the stories from the world of tennis this morning, where the 2023 edition of the WTA Finals will be held in Cancun, Mexico from October 29 to November 5 under a one-year agreement. The women's tennis body announced on Thursday, ending speculation that this year's event could be held in Saudi Arabia. The season-ending tournament, which features the top 8 singles players and double team, returns to Mexico after 1 year, with the 2021 edition taking place in Guadalajara. after the men's ATP Tour announced the last one, so that the next gen finals will be held in Jeddah from 2023 to 2027. Social media had been awash with rumors that the WTA finals also could be headed to Saudi Arabia. Now, let's talk about the tournament that has reached the final in the WTA category. Talking about the US Open. Coco Gauff never wavered, one beat. In the wee hours of today, last night, the wee hours of today, not when match points after match point went by the wayside, not during a 40-shot exchange that ultimately helped decide the outcome, and not most distracting of all, when our US Open semi-final against Karolina Munkova was interrupted for 15 minutes, some said 40 minutes, by environmental activists, one of whom glued his bare feet to the concrete floor in the stands. And well, Gauff, a 19-year-old from Florida, reached the final, the first final of Flushing Meadows by defeating Munkova 6-4, 7-5 on what was anything but an ordinary evening. But now, for Coco Gauff, she has been a player a lot of people have been talking about based on her age. She had an experience last year, and how will that help her this year?
Playing that match, I don't know, the whole tournament felt like a surprise to me. I don't think I wasn't expecting the final here either. But I just think then, I was really winning and just relieved that I made it to a final, because so many people expected a lot of things from me. And, I think I just didn't really believe that I had it in me, especially at the time playing Iga, who was on a win streak and everything. But this time around, I've been focusing more on myself and my expectations of myself, and not going on social media or listening to people who believe that I can or believe that I can't. So I've just been really focusing on myself. So I really believe that now I have the maturity and ability to do it. And, regardless of what happens on Saturday, I'm really proud of how I've been handling the last few weeks.
Matt.
Well, she's motivated and not getting distracted. Now she will be facing Aryna Sabalenka, who defeated Madison Keys this morning. And for Sabalenka, what's going to be the expectation facing Coco Gauff in the final?
Coco. Okay, the first question. She's moving really well. She's hungry. She kind of had nothing to lose. And she knows that crowd going to support her. I think that's what makes her a really difficult opponent. Also soaring really well. And I think that Australia Open final will definitely help me with all those emotions I went through in that final. I think I'll be different in this final, and I don't know. It's too late. I can't speak, guys. I'm losing it after each word I'm saying. But definitely that final gonna help me, because I know which kind of emotions expect, and I know how to handle them. So I think that final gonna help me, emotionally gonna help me.
So it is about these two players working on their emotions in the final and getting set for whatever may happen. But remember, the first semi-final of the men's singles will also go down today by 8 o'clock. Ben Shelton against Novak Djokovic. And the second semi-final will be between Carlos Alcaraz and Daniil Medvedev. And that is going down 12 a.m. That should be, Friday through Saturday. And remember, Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic met at the last tournament, a few weeks ago, and Novak Djokovic won, just like a pound of flesh from the last tournament. Carlos Alcaraz won. But now let's just move on this morning and look at updates coming from the FIBA World Cup. two games going down today in the final stage. Serbia against Canada. That is going down 9:45. And United States of America taking on Germany by 1:40 today. That's the updates coming from that side. And let's talk NBA, where New Orleans Pelicans guard Trey Murphy, had successful surgery on the meniscus in his left knee, and is expected to return to basketball activities in approximately 10 to 12 weeks, the team announced on Thursday. The Pelicans said Murphy had a partial meniscectomy and received a biologic injection in the knee. Murphy was injured during the workout at the team's practice facility on Tuesday. That's according to a report, and we wish him quick recovery. Now let's just recover from all this morning and move to the other side of the show, where we talk football update from the Super Eagles camp, same as our updates coming from the continent this morning. Well, shout out to Oluyemi Adeboje, Yusuf Adeoye, Ridwan watching live this morning. Good morning to you. 8:12 is the time.
Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Welcome back. Still Kick-Off Sports Show on Solutions 939 FM. Now talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, the players of that team are ready to start a good game, most especially to welcome the new sports minister into his office with a victory against the Sao Tome and Principe in Uyo. This is coming from Super Eagles captain William Troost Ekong, who said this on Wednesday that the Super Eagles will go all out for a handsome victory over the visiting national team of Sao Tome and Principe to welcome the new Minister of Sports Development, John Owa Eno. Eno assumed office a couple of weeks ago and has already been involved in matters of the three-time African champions as a superintendent in a meeting with the NFF bigwigs, which agreed to an extension of the contract of head coach Jose Pusario. And Nigeria currently leads the AFCON 2023 qualifier Group A with 12 points from 5 games, 2 points ahead of second place Guinea-Bissau, and has already qualified for the final tournament, which Cote d'Ivoire will host in January 2024. However, the top sport finish is at stake, and this weekend's final day games, Guinea-Bissau's Jotos host third place and already eliminated Sierra Leone in Bissau, and a win will take them to 13 points. Let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what will be happening for the World Cup qualifiers of 2026, happening where Nigeria will be facing former coach Gordon Raw with his team. Don't go anywhere, still Kick-Off Sports Show.
Our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor they shout.
As you enter, so enter with your change.
Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this somebody don't say, no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say.
Okay, we no get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
When you call see that better yama roasted fish with all the hungry you since in call.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not supposed hard like this, so. Now make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
Dynamic Pillars Montessori International Schools, Ibadan. The latest admirable, attractive, and acceptable Montessori schools in Ibadan City with global standard of teaching, unique learning aids, and world-class academic facilities in a serene environment. Wow! Few students in a class with all conveniences, parent and guidance. Dynamic Pillars is the best place where your dearest child can have the best educational legacy. The school has the best set of professional teachers with brilliant and effective educational activities such as Montessori skills, math helping game clinic, vocabulary development, arts, crafts and design, diction and communication, French, music and game language mechanics, indoor and outdoor games, and lots more. Available classes are crèche, daycare, preschool, after school, primary and secondary school classes from JSS1. Entrance examination on request. Enroll your child now at Dynamic Pillars Montessori International Schools, New Garage Bus Stop at Pata or First Gate, Owode Estate at Pata, Ibadan. Telephone 080-2342-1126. Dynamic Pillars Schools. Your child deserves the best.
CAC Covenant of Mercy presents 72 Hours with God, September edition. 72 Hours with God. It promises to be powerful with diverse miracles, supernatural visitations, and testimonies. This September edition is tagged When I Look More Closely. From Friday 8th to Sunday 10th of September 2023. Friday and Saturday 9 a.m. to 12 noon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Vigil 12 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. WAT. And on Sunday 10th of September, which is the grand finale, we shall be coming together from 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Vigil 11 p.m. WAT till dawn. Music ministrations by Evangelist Adela Kumbabayewa, Bidemi Olaba, and Elijah Akintude Olorun Sobe. God's anointed servants will be ministering powerfully. Prophet Taiwo Ojo. For inquiries, please call 0805-027-5779. Connect with us on Facebook at Prophet Taiwo Ojo Live. Please note, there will be free buses from Iwo Road, Ojo, and Challenge. 72 Hours with God, an unforgettable experience. Don't miss it.
Junior, get inside. You don't want to let mosquitoes bite you, do you? Me, I cannot treat malaria again, no.
Mama Junior, children will play. It is you that should keep your environment clean in order not to breed mosquitoes.
Even after netting the whole house and sleeping inside the insecticide-treated net?
Of course. Don't you know the state of your environment is as important as inside your house? Yes. When you get rid of stagnant water at every space mosquitoes can breed, be rest assured, Junior can play all he wants.
My friend, the honorary doctor, I will do just that so that my family can say bye-bye to mosquitoes.
Not just mosquitoes, but malaria.
Together, we can achieve a zero malaria society.
This message is from Solutions 93.9 FM.
Africa, oh yeah, Africa, oh man, Africa, 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 Africa. My Africa, my Africa, Africa.
No matter the wave, I will always ride for ya. I'll be here to save you, your Superman fly for ya. Because you are one of a kind. I'll always have you on my mind. Near or far, the others must be blind to not see how special you are. You are Africa.
Well, Angelica Joe featuring Mr. Easy, Salif Keita, Africa one of a kind. Well, games are going down on the continent today, starting 5 o'clock. Africa Cup of Nations qualification. Well, Pharaohs of Egypt and former champions Egypt will be taking on Ethiopia by 5 o'clock today. Burkina Faso battles Eswatini, while Mali will be up against the South Sudan. Games were decided yesterday on the continent for the qualification. Angola, Madagascar played out goalless. Black Stars of Ghana defeated Central African Republic 2-1 as Algeria, Tanzania played out goalless. Uganda were the guests of Niger as they defeated Niger 2-0. Tunisia defeated Botswana 3-0. Those are the results of games that played on the continent for the qualification of AFCON. Now let's come back to Nigeria, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will host the Crocodiles of Lesotho in the opening fixture of the qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The game will hold at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on 13th of November. Well, remember, South Africa, Benin Republic, now managed by former Super Eagles head coach Gunnar Raw, Rwanda and Zimbabwe are the other countries in the group. Now, let's look at the timetable for the Super Eagles. Well, for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in November, they will be playing against Lesotho at home and Zimbabwe away. In June 2024, the next set of fixtures will be playing against South Africa at home, Benin Republic away. In March 2025, they'll be facing Rwanda away and taking on Zimbabwe at home. 2025 in August, they'll be facing Rwanda at home, South Africa away. And in October, when they wrap up the qualification, we'll be facing Lesotho away and Benin Republic at home. That is what it looks like for the Super Eagles of Nigeria for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification. Now let's move away from Africa this morning and look at games that are decided. Let's also start with Lionel Messi, who scored the only goal when Argentina defeated Ecuador 1-0 in the World Championship, as Colombia defeated Venezuela, same score line 1-0. Now let's drive down. Cody Gakpo, whom I signed for the Premier League fantasy, failed to score, is now doing wonders with his national team. Okay. Well, first half goals set the Netherlands on their way to a comfortable 3-0 win over Greece in the European Championship qualifiers on Thursday night. Martin de Roon, Cody Gakpo and Will Weghorst scored before the break as the Dutch won a second match in Group B, showing much improvement after crashing out of the Nations League finals they hosted in June. Okay, now let's look at other results. Talking about games that decided in the Euro 2024 qualification in Group B, France defeated Ireland 2-0. I told you earlier, Netherlands edged Greece 3-0. In Group E, Czech Republic, Albania settled for a 1-0 draw as Poland defeated Faroe Island 2-0. Robert Lewandowski getting a brace in that one. And maybe Robert Lewandowski we saw in Bayern is not the Lewandowski we are seeing in Barcelona. Or maybe the whole Barcelona team is struggling. Okay. But now, Euro 2024 qualification, Group G games. Lithuania Montenegro played out 2-0 draw. Serbia lost 1-2 against Hungary. And in Group H, Kazakhstan lost 0-1 against Finland, while Denmark battered San Marino 4-0. Slovenia defeated Northern Ireland 4-2. Those are the results of games decided across Europe last night. Games are also going down today, and a quick look at this matches. For the qualification games going down today in Group A, starting at 5 o'clock. Georgia will take on Spain, Cyprus against Scotland. In Group D, Croatia will be up against Latvia, Turkey battling Armenia. And in Group J, Bosnia and Herzegovina will be up against Liechtenstein as Luxembourg will be up against Iceland. Slovakia will take on Portugal. While we also have friendly games going down today, Myanmar against Nepal, and we have Indonesia against Turkmenistan. All right, well, let's talk about transfer beats before we transfer ourselves out of the sports scene this morning. Talking about transfer stories, I know a lot of Liverpool fans will be happy because Salah is still a Liverpool player. With the Saudi Pro League transfer window getting short last night. But there's a message from the Saudi Pro people saying that, well, we will be back. We will be back. Okay, well, remember Liverpool were braced for a world record bid for Mo Salah on Thursday, but the club and the supporters could brace a sigh of relief when an improved offer from Al Ittihad failed to materialize before the Saudi Pro League transfer window closed. The Reds had turned down a £150 million offer on deadline day, but with the Saudi window open for another 6 days, there was an expectation Al Ittihad would try again to land the Egypt forward. But hey, now the deadline is over, the transfer is closed. Mo Salah can concentrate on rediscovering himself as a Liverpool player, and maybe at the end of the season we'll say goodbye. But the question is, how will that offer look like? Will the offer be dropped or maybe increased depending on goals scored and his performance? Well, another man who might have moved to the Saudi Pro League, that is Jadon Sancho of Manchester United. Remember the brouhaha between Sancho and Erik ten Hag of Manchester United. But no Saudi move for Sancho. The winger now is set for talks with Manchester United coaching staff. That is the latest update from that end. Well, remember also yesterday we gave you the update of former Chelsea manager who decided to stay back in England and not going to French League 1. And we're talking about Jadon Sancho. It was Al Ittihad, the team managed by Steven Gerrard, that proposed a loan move as Jadon Sancho. Yes, but maybe next season that can happen, or in the January transfer window. That's the latest update from that end. Now we have to just put it on hold right now and move to the other side where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. My name is OLADAPO Kunubi. Do not go anywhere. Victor Richard joins me on the other side.
Every rainy season, many lives are reportedly lost and properties worth billions destroyed, and many rendered homeless due to floods. To save our community from disaster this rainy season, please avoid dumping refuse on waterways, get refuse drums, and clear your nearby drainage ditches. Remember, the safety of our environment begins with you. This message is powered by Solutions 93.9.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy, that an export engine, and we need to be a production.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dapo, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
My people, yes, we are here again. I came here to tell you, I will be building, story building for everybody.
Enough with the lies, too many lies. Idante, we have had enough. You guys lie,
with the people blind, but we can see all the shit in your words. Who starts a fire, a revolution? Find a solution, shine a light. Who starts a fire, a revolution inside the heart, cold as ice? How are you able to sleep in the night when all the people can close their eyes? You're blinded by the evil inside, too much evil inside. Wanna go what the wonder like they say. I go feed your picking each and every day. 24 hours like tick of the day. But snake shop on me go. You want me to vote you, so you give me 2K. Because you know say the salary no they pay. At the end of the day, light in the day. Monkey thief money, they've been taking us for fools. I'm on move done do, we done do, we done do. And the future of our kids is hanging on the news. It's all me, it's all you. What's on the news? Papa, lo 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 lo. Economy, lo 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 lo. All day, no not tomorrow. What's on the news? Cities in pocket, lo lo. Our GDP, lo 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 lo. All that they no 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 no. Now how them go loot tomorrow?
In our country, the society is falling apart. The people are tired, weak, and frustrated. The fight is a struggle for our own existence.
Well, to whom it may concern, welcome to the last edition of From the Dailies, right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Of course, the record you were listening to was by Johnny Drill. But right now, it's time for us to look at the front pages of our Nigerian newspapers and beam the spotlight on some of the major burning stories, whilst we also take responses and reaction from you regarding the state of the nation. Welcome to From the Dailies. My name is Victory Richard.
Well, thank God it's Friday. My name is OLADAPO Kurubi, and Victory is the man that can say thank God it's Friday. And yeah, you look dope. Ready for Owambe?
Thank you very much.
Me, I'm thinking about sport. That's why I'm interested.
You're looking sporty. It's all good.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got with me the Nation and the Punch newspapers this morning, as we also take you back to what happened yesterday. The two presidential candidates from the opposition, Labour People's Democratic Party, talking about Abubakar Atiku, Peter Obi, having their different conferences. It was a world conference by Atiku Abubakar, and it was a special message coming from Peter Obi saying that they will appeal the judgment from the tribunal. Another thing is maybe we should be expecting, most especially with the message coming from the special advisor to Mr. President on media. That is Ajuri Ngolale, talking about the partnership deals signed by Mr. President in India. This and more we'll look at this morning. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Solutions 939 FM.
All right, be sure that you can be a part of the conversation this morning by joining us in these platforms on Facebook and YouTube at Solutions 939. Do also drop your comments and reaction regarding some of the stories we will be talking about this morning, as well as taking advantage of our WhatsApp number and text messages to 0904-422-2939. The Friday's edition is usually an open mic session, so you get to react to any story that is of interest to you. And once the phone lines are open, be sure to call in via this numbers 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune. Let's get right into it.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Alright, let's kick off this morning with the Nigerian Tribune, starting with the story 10 arrested over killing of 200 level 4A student. Right as to that, body found in shallow grave behind the lecture hall. In other stories this morning, Akeredolu returns, may hold meeting in Ibadan today. Court restrain Oyo government from installing Olawe. Commissioners, Lagos Assembly confirms Omotosho, 13 orders, rejects 2. And now to the biggest story on the Nigerian Tribune paper. Atiku Obi, why we are going to the Supreme Court. Right as to that, election court judgment lacks justice. I reject it. That's the ex-VP speaking there. Election petition will be non-existent in INEC discharge. Labour Party candidate making that remark. Amend Electoral Act to ensure conclusion of litigation before swearing in. CUPP is making that remark. APC pleads with Atiku Obi to join in nation building. These are the writers to that major story. 19 kidnapped in FCT. Wike may hold emergency security meeting. 30 die in landslide. Find that story on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. $46 billion crude oil stolen in Nigeria in 11 years. Speaker. Army court martial 14 officers. 9 soldiers for various offenses. These are the stories on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Going to the Nation newspaper this morning, starting with the cap headlines. Nigeria, Australia to partner on the training of local miners. Customs stops defaulting banks from revenue collection. Akeredolu recuperating in Ibadan on return from vacation. And Lagos Assembly drops 2 Sanwo-Olu's new nominees. And looking at the next set of headlines here. Oil theft, firms, MDAs, host communities involved, say security chiefs. A red and yellow headline from the Nation newspaper this morning says, Wike, Atiku Tambuwal killing PDP should be suspended. And this banner headline from the Nation newspaper with different writers. Atiku Obi, why we are challenging tribunal verdict. Right after that headline. Don't go to Supreme Court. Bello, Wike, Bruce urge PDP LP candidates. The next writer. APC, judgment reinforces democracy, judiciary's vibrancy. And there are different, quotes from this set of people, starting with that of Obi. That judgment is not continuous with justice. And from Atiku, the decision of the court falls far short of my expectation. A quote from APC. The outcome remains a wholesale endorsement of our party's vision. And this one says, Tinubu promises better future with good leadership. And we have the front page picture. President Tinubu with some members of the Nigerian community in India after their meeting in New Delhi. Last headline from the Nation newspaper this morning. Minister gives NIS 2 weeks to clear outstanding passports. This is another, right? These are the headlines from the Nation newspaper this morning.
Alright, away from the Nation, let's now move over to the Vanguard newspaper as we look through the papers. Nigeria's fiscal deficit to decline to Nigeria fiscal deficits to decline in fourth quarter of 2023 MPC. Ranging storm overfilled federal roads in Edo State. 30 killed in Abuja landslide, 19 kidnapped. NMPCL not opposed to sale of Ajib shares to Owando, spokesman. Nigeria poor in leadership and management, Tinubu speaking there. Election tribunal judgment, mixed reactions as Atiku Obi head to Supreme Court. Crude oil theft, Nigeria lost 16.25 trillion naira in 11 years, Rep Speaker. Telecom sector adds 16% to GPD in second quarter of 2023. Food insecurity widespread as nationwide. Okay, let me take that again. Food insecurity widespread nationwide as Lagos Borno 3 orders tops the chart. And now to sport. CAF congratulates Oshime on Ballon d'Or nomination. Impressive. Congratulations to Asisat Oshoala as well.
Agbabola. Okay, going straight to the Punch newspaper. Check your time right now. It is 8:42, and you're listening to From the Dailies. There's a segment on AM Update, and my name is OLADAPO. Kunubi. Victor Richard is also here. For those of you joining live on Facebook, thank you for joining us. And for those of you listening right now, well, when the time comes, you have opportunity to also react on some of the headlines. Looking at the Punch headline, the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning with different headlines. Set up customer centers. FG tells discos. Probe. Rep summons Nimasa, NPA, NMPCL MDs, others. Page 23 of Punch has a story. And the next cap headline. Manufacturers pay 607 billion naira tax in 6 months. Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. And a banner headline this morning from the Punch newspaper with 2 riders. Tribunal judgment. APC lampoons Atiku Obi. Opposition attacks INEC. And riders, the first rider says, judgment devoid of justice, say ex-VP Obi. Opposition planned Beavers hacking. APC insists. And the next rider says, petitioners' legal teams storm Court of Appeal for judgment, certified true copy. And, well, for those who planned to travel yesterday, at the MMIA, we can see the front page picture of what happened. Passengers stranded as foreign airlines delay cancel flight at MMIA. And other headlines here. Akeredolu returns, now in Ibadan. Ondo Assembly leader. Page 16 of Punch has the story. Customs intercepts 692 million drugs. Others along Ibejuleki waterways. And the last headline here says NIA demands security checks on foreign polls observers. This and more you can get from the Punch newspaper this morning. We've been able to check other, headlines for you from Vanguard, Tribune, Dignation, and Punch newspaper. Now let's go straight to the burning issue this morning. That was expected, most especially with, the judgment from the tribunal. At first, it was more of statements because yesterday there was a statement from the media person to Atiku Abubakar debunking that he congratulated Bola Ahmed Tinubu after the judgment of the tribunal. However, you've been getting the headlines, most especially this. These are the headlines on all newspapers we brought to you listening this morning. Atiku Obi, saying that they rejected the judgment of the tribunal as they will be headed for the Court of Appeal. First is the statement from Peter Obi on Thursday night.
Finally delivered its long-awaited judgments on petitions challenging the outcome of the presidential election held on 25th of February 2023. This judgment was delivered within the statutory time frame under the extant status. We acknowledge the court's contributions to due process and seeming attempt to strengthen our democracy. As petitioners in this case, we respect the views and ruling of the court, but we disagree with the court's reasoning and conclusions in the judgment it delivered. It is my intention as the presidential candidate and the intention of Labour Party to challenge this judgment by way of appeal immediately as allowed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The PEPC has rendered its judgment, but that esteemed body is not the final arbiter. The responsibility now falls on the Supreme Court. I do know that the judgment is not conterminous with justice. I implore Nigerians to remain focused, steadfast, and peaceful, and to abide by the rule of law and understand this matter has not reached its logical conclusion. Our legal team has already received our firm instruction to file an appeal against the decision.
Well, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter will be speaking there. Well, before that speech from Labour Party's presidential candidate, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar also ran under the flagship of People's Democratic Party. Around 2 o'clock yesterday at the PDP Secretariat, addressed a World Press Conference.
All through my career as a politician, I have been a fighter and will continue to fight. At the beginning of this legal battle, when I instructed my lawyers to file my petition challenging the outcome of the presidential election, my ultimate goal in this pursuit is to ensure that democracy is further strengthened through the principles and processes of fair hearing and justice. Gentlemen of the press, I take great pains to tell you that the decision of the Court of First Instance on this matter utterly fails far short of expectation. I am therefore here to tell you that though the judgment of the court yesterday is respected, it is a judgment that I refuse to accept.
Okay, so that was that statement from, from the press conference, at the People's Democratic Party's headquarters in Abuja yesterday by Atiku. Now let's talk about Mr. President's trip to India. You look at the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning, and more still to come. But talking about the deals signed by Mr. President and memorandum of understanding. Ajuri Ngolale was speaking yesterday about the development and what Nigerians should expect from the renewed Hope administration.
We have signed 3 major, very important MOUs with the Indian government, particularly the Indian Ministry of Communications and Innovation. They've partnered with our Ministry of Innovation and Digital Economy to effectively create a shared ecosystem for ICT development with respect to the digital economy, kind of a digital economic transformation. They're going to partner with us very closely. It's well known that India's digital infrastructure is one of the world's best. It is one that is dealing with a scale of over 1 billion people. So we have a lot to learn. They have a very similar market to us. They have a very similar, in addition to that, we have another MOU under the Ministry of Trade and Investment with the investment promotion arm of the Indian government known as Invest India that will deal with a kind of infrastructural development in association with Nigeria's Infrastructure Corporation of Nigeria, come together, mobilize resources for major infrastructural development opportunities across the digital space, but also across physical infrastructure, roads, bridges, airports, seaports, and the like in Nigeria.
Well, Ajuri Ngolale speaking there, but let's start with the conference, the press conference yesterday by Atiku Abubakar and that of Peter Obi. I mean, that should be expected from all the parties involved. But the question now is, why is it so difficult for people to say, okay, after the court judgment, after the tribunal, we are good, let's move on? Do we say because everybody's playing politics? Well, these are the questions that Comrade Oluwamotosho will be, answering this morning. Also talking about the businesses, the Indians are not. I know some years back, based on history, Indians were in Nigeria to work, to train, and now we are the ones signing deals with this countries. We look at this and more this morning. Remember, you can be part of the program this morning. Join us live on Facebook, YouTube, Solutions 939 FM, Solutions 939 FM. And you can also send us a message on our X page, or formerly Twitter, this morning. Let us get your opinion. The numbers to call when the time comes, we'll surely let that known to you. But you can send us a WhatsApp or SMS straight to 0904 422 2939.
Well, we have our analyst joining us virtually this morning. Good morning to you, comrade, and thank God it's Friday.
Good morning, and good morning to everyone of you.
Okay, we're glad to have you. Morning to you. All right, so we start off the conversation this morning with, the press conferences held by the former Vice President of Nigeria and the representative of the PDP as well as the Labour Party, disregarding the judgment of the tribunal. And it's saying that they're heading for another window of judgment, which is the Supreme Court. Now, there's been mixed reactions, both from Nigerians and the political parties, themselves regarding the judgment. I guess my question is, coming on the heels of the mixed reaction from Nigerians, talking about, the financial implication that comes with, pursuing this course. How about we save these money and prepare for the next 4 years or the next 8 years, as the case may be? And judging by, the body language and the breakdown, given by Justice Haruna Samani on Wednesday, would you say that the tribunal did a proper cover-up on what happened at the February 25th election?
Well, thank you. Starting with the statement of statement that is not accepted, this rejection the judgment of the appeal court of the presidential tribunal. Yeah, it's a normal thing. And as a matter of fact, that's one of the flaws of the book. Gives you the opportunity to speak up. When you feel you have this feeling that the process that concludes an election or that produces the winner of an election is not proper in your own view, democracy allows you to go to ask questions, and in doing so, you go to the appropriate forum. This case, the tribunal that was set up into this container of people who want to ask questions about how the election was conducted. Now, they have their right to do that. And whether, talking about them saving money, the money they use to pursue, the money they spend pursuing, speaking readers. Yeah, when we look at something like that, when we think that way, now we may not be able to get the kind of society that we actually want. But when injustice comes, or when you feel that you have been unjustly denied your right, you should have a means of trying to seek redress. And when you want to speak with them, definitely, it's not going to be alaka. It's not going to be for free. As a matter of fact, very few lawyers today will say, look, I'm going to defend you, I'm going to do this for you free of charge, without pro bono, without taking anything. So, and if you are thinking of of the kind of resources it's going to take from you, then you might not be able to get justice. So, for you to get justice, that's what I think. You see, getting justice anywhere has never been free, and it has never been cheap. And but if you don't, if you cannot, if you are not prepared to spend or to give what it takes to seek justice, then you might, at the end of the day, end up being denied this justice. It has never been cheap anywhere. So it is one thing. It's an opportunity cost. You just look at it. Okay, now do I really need this justice? Yes. If you say yes, you need a justice, then you must be ready and willing to give what it takes to get that justice. But if you are not willing to do it, then of course you don't have to spend your money, your hard-earned money, and like that. But then the point is, you will never get what is due to you except you fight for it, except you ask for it and fight for it in Nigeria. In some other clients, when you ask for it, you can be given. But in Nigeria, you don't only ask for it. When you ask for it, you must fight for it, for you to be able to get it. So, well, the election has come and it's done. The tribunal has given its ruling, but that's not the end now, because just like they said, Obi and Atiku has said they are going to appeal. Of course, the law allows them, gives them another window to appeal to the Supreme Court. And I think from the 6th, that's from Wednesday when the judgment was given, I think the Supreme Court has 60 days to decide on this case. So they still have ample time for them to really seek redress. Now, I just say good luck to them, but I think it is good. Yes, quite expensive, but it's good for us because it the way it's happening now. Now, a lot of things were discussed, a lot of things were revealed, a lot of landmark judgments or rulings. Were read out to us on Wednesday, and there are so many things. It has changed. It has changed ways by which some people will look at the election. Now, coming up from the judgment, now the way lawyers will file their brief. In subsequent election will be different from the way it is done now, based on that judgment. So I think it's an opportunity to grow our democracy, and that is being done now. They haven't really those that went to court had not done anything. They haven't committed any crime at all. They had only assisted in making our democracy better. That's the way.
Okay, but now, comrade, thank you. So now let's look at the statements of Nyesom Wike talking about the judgment yesterday, saying that he does not know who's giving PDP hope. And if you look at some of the members of PDP, some factions in Labour Party, they are not even in support of these two oppositions going for a redress, going to appeal the judgment of the tribunal. Is it because they are not on the same page with this opposition candidate or the presidential candidate of their party, or about knowing that maybe the tribunal has done its best?
Well, I think it's both. Take for instance, Labour Party. The Obi faction is being led by Aburi, and the other faction is being led by Apapa. Now, Apapa made frantic effort before the end of the tribunal to withdraw the case from the court. Now, they were never favorably disposed to pursuing the case at the initial. So, now that the judgment has been given, to them, it's like a victory. That after all, we wanted to withdraw the case, and we're saying because of this or that. Now, whatever agenda they might have for seeking or for wanting to withdraw the case, that's really notwithstanding. It doesn't really matter here. But what matters to them is that, look, we don't want the tribunal to continue with our case, because we are not even interested in the case. We want to withdraw, and somehow they couldn't withdraw, and then judgment came, and threw out the filings of the other faction. So of course, for them that's a win for them. So they will praise the judges that they have done the right thing. Okay. Now, it's all politics. All that what it's saying now it's all politics. Now, so then it doesn't really matter whether the judgment was right or not, whether the judgment gives a justice. I mean, whether justice is done or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that Labour Party has lost, and that's actually where they wanted. Because if they had withdrawn the case, it's the same thing. The court would still have struck out. The case and the matter. So that's why they are saying. That's why they are happy like that. But what I think we should look at is it good that that the thing went all through its lifetime. I mean, the cases that the petition went through their lifetime. Now, because like I said earlier, so many pronouncements were made during the judgment. On Wednesday, that have revealed so many things. For instance, we know. We know that in any election matters where you want to do anything, you have to front load. You have to front load, or they call it from. I think that's what they call it. You have to front load everything, all your evidences and the names of your witnesses and all that. You have to do that. Now, and then when you are doing that, you have to. What your prayers must be made clear. Now, one of the part of the pronouncement that were made was that Labour Party and Peter Obi are not saying, okay, we've won. There are discrepancies in the elections and the counting and the coalition and all that. But the court is saying, look, you did not even tell us where they took place, where you have all of these things you are talking about. So now, going forward now, any lawyer that wants to file election petition will now have to take these things into consideration and say, look, because the last judgment they said you did not do this, you did not do so, we are going to do it now. So these are some of the things that make democracy even more beautiful. And of course, it's going to make election petition. It's going to make it even more seamless and less chaotic and cumbersome the way this one was. So it is beautiful. Whether they want it or they didn't want it, at least, it has added some things, some value and some information for us as a nation, and for the judiciary and the National Assembly to be able to tinker with our laws and then make things, take from this judgment now, and then make our election laws, make it better.
Making democracy sweet, making a democracy interesting, but for Wike, we don't know where he's standing right now, if he's still a PDP member or an APC member. If you look at the red and yellow headline from the Nation newspaper saying that Atiku Tambuwa killing PDP should be suspended, don't you think Wike also should be suspended?
Well, that's the way our politics is played in Nigeria. Me as a person, I don't see any reason why Wike should be suspended. But a lot of people out there are of the opinion that because he has taken appointment from an APC government, that he should be suspended from his party. But that's not the way it should be, because that's not good for us as a nation. Now, partisanship should end after election. Now, what we have been seeing, what we have witnessed in this country before, is winners taking all. The political party that wins is the one that will appoint, use it, that will put its people in all in all appointment, we fill all the appointment with these people. Now, not minding whether we have people that have more competency, that are more competent in other devices. Now, not looking for people from outside of their own circle. And then we end up having people who are good for what they are asked, what they give to them to handle. But we have people who are better than them from the opposite camp, but they are not going to, they will not be using them. So now that we see we see a government now that is doing that. But one thing that is very, very clear that we know is whether Wike is suspended from PDP now or not. Now, something will happen. We know because that's the way our politics run here in this country. APC will start to talk. Victory will start in not too long a time now. We'll say, look, this guy is not from our party and he's holding this. Now, I think it's time for him to cross over to our party. Now, if he says he's not going to cross over, of course, he will begin to make enemies. And then it will turn to, murmuring will then become a kind of agitation that some people will be saying, look, you can, because you are not in our party, you cannot enjoy, you cannot be enjoying the benefits of being, yes, the lagis there. And of course, and I don't see any reason there because this is Nigeria. This is Nigeria, and if you have promised that you want to serve the people, now the best thing to do as a government is to look outside, is to think outside the box, and then look for people all around who have competence to handle certain areas. Wike is good. Wike has been given the FCC to handle now, the Federal Capital Territory, and of course, like him, that's just like Wike that we all know. He started making some things. He started putting some things right. Yes, it may be harsh on this and that. It doesn't matter. But something, things that have been laid down, they have said this is the way this things should go. It should be respected, and he's trying to correct those things, just like El-Rufai did when he was there. So I don't. It's a departure that we are starting to see now. I just hope the world will be able, that the political class will be able to sustain it.
Okay.
Wike may be asking for articles of suspension and all that, but right now it does not even have any mouth. It doesn't have any right. He is no longer a leader of the party because constitution of most of the political parties in Nigeria states that when you are accepting a public office, you are given an appointment to become a public officer, you must take leave of absence from your political party. And so that another person can occupy whatever position you were holding, to keep the party running. So right now, Wike cannot tell people, except, in our climate anyway, but he does not have any say to say, look, this person must be suspended or whatever, because he cannot be an officer of PDP now, because he's now a public officer.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Let's move away from politics and talk about the economy right now. There's a headline on the Nigerian Tribune that reads, Nigeria loses 16.25 trillion naira to crude oil theft in 11 years. And this is coming from the Speaker of the House of Reps, Tajuddin Abbas, who is saying a whooping $46 billion is what we've lost in 11 years from 2009 to 2020. We've been hearing stories about oil theft, but the challenge with these stories are we don't see who is being arrested in that regard, and this is affecting our economy. What is happening here?
Well, I think one of the things that this current administration Asuwaju had done is trying to halt the trend of crude oil theft from 2019. They say that I know, we all know that to transcend that it started longer. It started
2009,
earlier.
2009
Yeah.
to 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, it started. That's why it started earlier than 2009. Just that it became more pronounced within the last this last few years. Now, to the point that our crude oil production fell below 1 million barrels per day, and which actually was not true. But what was accounted for and then recorded as being produced was, I think at the point we were producing about 800,000 barrels per day. Now, thank God now that I think just last week we had that it has moved to about 1.667
1.249 billion barrels per day.
Now it has moved up to 1.6 now.
Yes.
So now when you look at that, that means that theft is reducing now. And I just hope that it will get to the bottom. Now, what this government is telling us is that they are making effort now to check and to stop that theft, and that's the reason why the official production record is rising now. Now, if anybody is stealing oil, crude oil, now if we are talking about that theft, we are not talking about people like you and me and I. Now, we do not have the wherewithal to do it. Now, if our oil was being stolen using pipes that were constructed, and then we have security operatives there watching over these things, and we have this kind of infrastructure put in place to steal our oil. And government is telling us, feeling innocent, telling us that they don't know the people that do it, and then they are looking for them. Now, I probably would tell them to go under the bed and look under the bed. Probably that's where they are hiding. Because if they cannot see, if government, you have everything that it takes to discover all of these things. And pipes cannot be, pipes of that length, of the length that we are seeing now, cannot be laid in 1 week. Neither can they be laid in a matter of months. Some of them must have been, was spent over a year to get them constructed. And they were there and running, and government is telling us. I think government should be sincere now. Now, let's not put the blame on this current administration because they are just coming in. Let's believe that they are working. Now, with the kind of evidence that our production is increasing now, shows that probably they are working. But let's give them a little more window to see if they are really going to check it and get it behind us. Now, 16 trillion naira is not a joke. It's not a joke. And don't forget that through this year, we have been running budget deficit and borrowing money to finance that deficit. I think up to about 2 years ago, our budget had never, was under 10 trillion per year, and we are talking about 16 trillion now. Can you imagine what effect that would have had in reducing the kind of debt that Nigeria is owing now through borrowing and all that? So I think government should look inward now, and these are some of the things they should do to make sure that they increase revenue earning and not putting more and more burden on the people. Now they are telling, we are shouting that this estimated billing is wrong. We don't want it. They should give us meter. And they are saying, no, okay, no problem. If you are going to get meter, you'll get meter, but you're going to pay through your notes. Simply because they want to raise revenue and all that. These are the ways that they should do that, not increasing the burden on the people. Find out the oil thieves and make sure that they are prosecuted. Repatriate what they have stolen, the profit of what they have stolen, and then plunge it back into our sales, so that
economy.
We'll get money. You have money to channel, to do things that needed to be done for the people.
Well, we hope that is done. And at this point, we must say thank you to you, comrade, for being a part of the conversation and sharing your 2 cents regarding the state of the nation. We do appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, Comrade Ulu Motosha there speaking and sharing his opinion on some of the headlines. Well, let's go on a break, and when we return, we expect your own reaction as well. Do not go anywhere. AM Update is still live.
It's happening live in Ibadan. Divine Heritage Symphonia International, in conjunction with Kyrie Voices, present annual concert and dedication of Julie All Organ with the theme Grace Oreo Fair, coming up on Sunday 10th of September 2023 at Julie Hall TDL building behind Sterling Bank, Oshosami Junction, Okeado, Ibadan. Featuring the Elite Brass, Marvel Ensemble Samson Ebe, Ibiso Benebo Kyo Ibiba, and the Aderibi Bass. Ẹ wá kájọ jùmọ̀ gbé orúkọ Ọlọ́run ọba ga nínú orin ẹ̀mí. Come and let's make a joyful noise to the Lord in hymns and songs as we dedicate the new Julie Hall organ. This concert is powered by the Kyrie Voices.
Omo, our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor they shout.
As you enter, so enter with your change.
Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this somebody don't tell, no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say.
Okay, we no get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
When you consider better yama roasted fish without the hungry you since in call.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not suppose hard like this, so now make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
CAC Covenant of Mercy presents 72 Hours with God, September edition. 72 Hours with God. It promises to be powerful with diverse miracles, supernatural visitations, and testimonies. This September edition is tagged When I Look More Closely, from Friday 8th to Sunday 10th of September 2023. Friday and Saturday 9 a.m. to 12 noon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Vigil 12 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. WAT. And on Sunday 10th of September, which is the grand finale, we shall be coming together from 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Vigil 11 p.m. WAT till dawn. Music ministrations by Evangelist Adela Kumbabayewa, Bidemi Olaba, and Elijah Akintude Olorun Sobe. God's anointed servants will be ministering powerfully. Prophet Taiwo Ojo. For inquiries, please call 0805-027-5779. Connect with us on Facebook at Prophet Taiwo Ojo Live. Please note, there will be free buses from Iwo Road, Ojo, and Challenge. 72 Hours with God, an unforgettable experience. Don't miss it.
Junior, get inside. You don't want to let mosquitoes bite you, do you? I cannot treat malaria again, no.
Mama Junior, children will play. It is you that should keep your environment clean in order not to breed mosquitoes.
Even after netting the whole house and sleeping inside the insecticide-treated nets?
Of course. Don't you know the state of your environment is as important as inside your house? Yes. When you get rid of stagnant water at every space mosquitoes can breed, be rest assured, Junior can play all he wants.
My friend, the honorary doctor, I will do just that, so that my family can say bye-bye to mosquitoes.
Not just mosquitoes, but malaria.
Together, we can achieve a zero malaria society.
This message is from Solutions 93.9 FM.
Alright, 20 minutes gone past the hour of 9. You're listening to From the Dailies right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Of course, we just looked through the front pages of our Nigerian newspapers and we had our analysts talk about the state of the nation. We spoke about the current state of oil theft in Nigeria, as reported by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas. We also spoke about the election case, or do I say the verdict of the appeal court, the tribunal speaking on Wednesday, and how the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the Labour Party reacted. Mixed reaction regarding that judgment and how they intend to head to the Supreme Court for more open judgment. We also looked through What other story did we talk about this morning?
Well, talking about the oil theft, also what is happening in Lagos, some of the nominees, two of them dropped by the State House of Assembly. I mean,
while
it's
14 others were accepted.
Yes, which shows that maybe more problems are brewing in Lagos. We also discussed about the MOU signed by the Nigerian government with the Indian government and Indian, business. Some business owners in India. So this and more, what we're looking at, how to also improve Nigeria's economy.
Absolutely. And right now it's time for you to join in on the conversation. Let's have your thoughts regarding the state of the nation. Do well to callers. The numbers to call in would be 0909 888 9939 or 0912 22